The sponsor who is going to undertake to introduce our next moderator is Mr. Lispinard Pfister, who is a very prominent Boston lawyer. He is one of the fighters on our side. He's been very busy in the lay side of the Episcopal Church for many years. He has also been active in the Big Brother movement and many other activities of the Bar Association. And so it gives me great pleasure to present to you, to introduce our next moderator, Mr. Lispinard B. Pfister. Mr. Pfister.
Larry Bunker poured it on last year when he introduced me too, and I couldn't think of what to say, but since that time, I heard about the man and his wife who were at a bus station and killed time. He stepped on a penny scale, and a little card came out that not only gives you your weight, but tells about you, and he showed it to his wife, and he said, "Look at this. You are courageous, handsome, and a leader among men." And his wife took the card and looked at it and said, "Huh, they got your weight wrong, too." I was not here last evening or this morning. I don't know whether anyone has told you about Larry Bunker and how Colonel Bunker was aide-de-camp to General MacArthur in Tokyo and in Korea. And I was in Japan 3 years ago, and the tremendous job they did of taking those defeated people, restoring their self-respect, and the way they have gone forward and become truly marvelous people, always hustling and prosperous and doing something we can't do, making a tremendous success of their railroads. Now, my duty today, my privilege, is to introduce your moderator, Mr. William Haise. Mr. Haise is now of Texas. He's in the Public Relations Department of the Flick Reedy Corporation. He made 14 joint speeches with Senator Goldwater. He ran himself in 1962 for Lieutenant Governor of Texas, and in 1964 for Congress. And in both occasions, I understand he broke all records for an outpouring of Republican votes. Prior to his going to Texas about 20 years ago, Bill Haise was from New Hampshire, where he was on the military staff, an aide to the governor of New Hampshire, a major. And it is with great pleasure and a marvelous opportunity for us that I present to you our moderator, Bill Haise of Temple, Texas.
Thank you. It was most gracious of Colonel Bunker and Mrs. McKinney to invite me here today and to permit me to make 3 or 4 minutes of remarks prior to introducing the first of 2 speakers that I will offer to you this afternoon. We have in this country today a giant creature that I like to think of as the Democrapuss. This monster has many tentacles, and he looks much like an octopus. All of these tentacles, however, are on the left side, and they're all bright pink. And they're labeled socialized medicine, federal aid to education, urban renewal, foreign aid, and all of these tentacles reach into the pocket of every taxpayer in America, large and small, and on into the next generation, so that a baby born in the United States today inherits a debt of nearly $2,000, foisted upon it by the sociocrats in our government. This monster has an interesting face, this Democrapuss. It has a face sort of like a donkey, and it has 2 left ears and a new front ear. It wears a little pink mortarboard hat and a cloak with a crimson lining and blinders to keep out the truth from its red-eyed liberalism, and it walks with a list toward the lunatic liquidating left down a yellow path in the middle of the road with no curb on either side into what could end up to be a pit of socialist and communist slavery. That's the Democrapuss. Thomas Paine, back many years ago, wrote that these are the times that try men's souls. Well, these are in truth the times that try Americans' patience And our patience is sorely tried by those who have infested our government, who would destroy our liberty by every abominable device. Patriots know that freedom is not a gift. Freedom is something you must earn. You must earn it every day of your life with dignity, with pride, with your ability to be men and women and to stand on your own 2 feet. But according to our sense of values, freedom is important, of vital importance. And this is what is prompting the uprising that has brought you here today. The uprising in America, the concerned citizens all over this country are realizing that the Bill of Rights is being turned into a Bill of Wrongs, and that our government of checks and balances is being converted into a government that writes its checks and carries no balance. We're also seeing an establishment that sneers at patriotism and describes it as nothing more than a vulgar affair. This establishment would weaken our moral fiber, would bankrupt our treasury, would lessen our national prestige and control our lives. They encourage foreign ideologies to come into this hemisphere. They espouse world courts and world orders, and they don't want any part of the Monroe Doctrine. I say that yesterday's profile of courage is being transmuted into a profile of indecision. In your generation and mine, we have seen dictatorship from the fireside, tyranny from the poker table, monarchy of law by royal dicta from the swimming pool, and you know what we're getting now from Texas. My friends, we are a first-class nation of first-class citizens. The only second-class ones we've got are those who want to be paid without earning it, those who want security without self-respect, and those who want to be protected without having the courage to fight. I don't call them this. They brand it upon themselves. What we need, though, is more bone in our back, more iron in our blood, more determination in our hearts, and more fervor in our souls. Because if we don't, then someday we're going to turn that door to the cupboard of freedom and open it up, and like old Mother Hubbard's cupboard, it's going to be bare. So we must stop engaging in doughy diplomacy and electing cream puff candidates that turn into Pollyanna politicians. We must stop once and for all giving aid and comfort to enemies. We must stop all aid to communist countries. And furthermore, we must stop all aid to neutral nations, because where right and wrong is concerned, there should be no such thing as neutrality. I say that when you're right, whether you're an individual or whether you're a nation, when you're right and you compromise, you're immoral. It's as simple as that. And no man or group of men can serve 2 masters. And if he loves this great nation, he should never aid its enemy. And our enemy today is the socialist, communist conspiracy that's out to enslave the world. The heat of the sun, the majesty of the mountains, the turbulence of the ocean, and the vastness of the desert, these are but small things compared to the spark of freedom when it beats in a human heart. And I say on this 4th of July weekend that we should, in our own hearts and in the hearts of others, make every effort to further ignite that spark into a blaze of glory for freedom, true freedom for all mankind. Thank you.